Welcome to another immersive episode of English Listening Stories, where you improve your English through powerful storytelling. Tonight's tale is called The Shadow of the Lighthouse. Find a quiet place, relax your breathing, and let this story guide your imagination. The sea was restless the night Emma received the letter. Waves hammered the coastline like a warning, and the wind whistled through the trees behind her tiny home. She stood by the window, rereading the elegant handwriting. Emma, it's time. Come to Blackthorn Island. You must finish what your father started. No signature. Just a dried symbol at the bottom, a lighthouse surrounded by dark spirals. Emma hadn't been to Blackthorn Island in 12 years. Not since the night her father disappeared while repairing the old lighthouse. People said it was an accident. But Emma never believed that. Her hands trembled as she packed a small backpack, a flashlight, a notebook, and the last photo of her father, smiling with the lighthouse behind him, its light strangely dim. 2 hours later she stood on the dock. A small boat waited for her. The ferryman, an old man with silver eyes, nodded silently. "You're Emma?" he said without emotion. It wasn't a question. "Yes," she replied. "You knew my father, didn't you?" The old man stared at the dark horizon. He was a brave man. But the island doesn't forget. Emma felt a chill. What does that mean? He didn't answer. He simply started the motor, and the boat glided into the night. Fog wrapped around them like cold cotton. The sea, usually loud, grew strangely quiet, as if listening. In the distance, a beam of pale light flickered. From the top of Blackthorn Lighthouse. It shouldn't have been working. No one had maintained it in over a decade. Yet there it was, blinking, calling. When Emma reached the island, the ferryman refused to step onto the shore. "I'll return at sunrise," he said. "But if you hear the bell, don't look back. Keep walking." Before Emma could ask anything, he pushed off and disappeared into the fog. She took a deep breath. Her boots crunched on the gravel path. Blackthorn Island looked exactly as she remembered, wild, lonely, with trees bent by years of storms. The lighthouse stood at the top of a steep cliff, towering like a silent giant. Its light pulsed weakly, like a heartbeat fading in and out. As she walked, Emma noticed strange markings on the path. Circles, symbols, the same ones from the letter. Her heart pounded. The air grew colder. When she reached the base of the lighthouse, the door was slightly open. She pushed it gently. The wooden door groaned. A cold, salty draft escaped from inside. The spiral staircase twisted upward in dim light. "Dad?" she whispered, even though she knew it was impossible. Her voice echoed back. "Dad, Dad, Dad." She began climbing. Each step creaked. Each breath felt heavier. Halfway up, she saw something carved into the wall. "The light remembers." A shiver ran down her spine. She forced herself to continue. At the top, she reached the lantern room. The massive rotating light, cracked but glowing, slowly turned. Dust floated in the air like tiny ghosts. On the floor was another letter. She knelt and opened it. "Emma, the lighthouse feeds on memory. If the light goes out completely, the island will be taken by the shadow. Your father fought it. Now it's your turn." At the bottom, the symbol again. But this time, it was smeared as if written in a hurry. Suddenly, thud. A sound below. Like footsteps. Emma froze. Someone else was in the lighthouse. "Who's there?" Emma called out. No answer. Just another slow footstep. And then another. She grabbed her flashlight and started down the stairs cautiously. Her heart thudded loudly in her chest. The shadows on the walls stretched unnaturally, moving like living things. When she reached the middle level, she saw a dark figure standing at the bottom of the stairs. Tall, still, silent. "Dad?" she whispered instinctively. The figure twitched, as if reacting to the word. But it did not step forward. It simply tilted its head. Emma raised her flashlight. The beam hit the figure, and the shadows around it rippled like water. It wasn't human. It was shaped like a person, but made entirely of shifting darkness. As if the night had taken form. Suddenly it rushed up the stairs. Its movement was unnatural. Gliding, jerking, almost teleporting. Emma stumbled backward and slammed the lantern room door shut. She pushed a metal bar across it. The creature slammed into the door with a violent thud. Dust rained from the ceiling. Emma's hands shook uncontrollably. The lighthouse light flickered. "No, no, no, no," she whispered. "If the light dies, the shadow grows." She remembered her father's words years ago. "The lighthouse isn't just a building, Emma. It's a guardian. A line between the world of memory and what wants to consume it. Everything suddenly made sense. The island. The symbols. Her father's disappearance. Another violent slam shook the door. A crack formed in the wood. Emma looked at the lantern. It was built with old metal connectors, some broken. The mechanism needed power. Attention. The caretaker. Dad tried to repair this, she whispered. And he didn't finish. She grabbed her tools from her backpack. Her hands were shaking. But she forced herself to work fast. Below, the shadow scraped against the door. A long, slow, horrible sound. Emma rewired cables. Realigned gears. Tightened bolts while tears formed in her eyes. Come on, come on. Her breath trembled. The light flickered violently. The creature struck the door again. This time breaking through a panel. A dark, claw-like hand pushed through. Emma screamed but kept working. The rotating light sparked. Its hum deepened. Another slam. The door buckled. Emma turned a final screw. And the lighthouse suddenly exploded with a burst of bright, golden light. A powerful beam shot outward, sweeping across the sea. The shadow shrieked, a sound like metal tearing, and disintegrated instantly, its form dissolving into smoke. Emma collapsed to the floor in tears, breathing hard. The lighthouse hummed steadily, bright, alive. As the first light of morning appeared on the horizon, Emma slowly opened the lighthouse door. The island felt different, less heavy, as if freed from a long nightmare. Down the cliff path, the ferryman's boat appeared. He waited silently as she approached. You fixed the light, he said. Emma nodded, still catching her breath. What was that thing? The old man looked at the rising sun. A memory that forgot itself. Your father fought it for years. Tonight you finished the work. Emma looked down. Her heart tightened. He was here, wasn't he? The ferryman nodded gently. He never left the island. But now he can rest. A warm breeze passed over Emma, soft and comforting, almost like a goodbye. She smiled through her tears. Goodbye, Dad. She stepped onto the boat. As it pulled away from Blackthorn Island, Emma looked back. The lighthouse stood tall, its golden beams sweeping proudly across the sea, no longer a place of fear, but a guardian of memory. Thank you for listening to English Listening Stories. If this episode helped you practice English, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this podcast with someone who loves powerful stories. See you in the next episode, where imagination and learning meet.